All right, another short video here just to show what's going on today. Today I'm going to try and sow a special way. This is my own potting soil that I made for starting, based on my own compost. It's basically just been in the stallbed in the storage all winter, and it's a combination of clay soil and compost. Basically, I just use a sieve like this, and I use compost, my own compost. See here, and I mix the two together, and that gives, here's the clay you can see that I use. It's basically just topsoil, but a clay-rich topsoil mixed with compost. And then when you sieve it, you add some air into it, and that way it's not compacted. It works quite well as a potting mix. And basically what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use these cartons, which I've cut little holes in the bottom of, fill them up, and sow different kinds of carrots in there. And the idea is that if you sow about 15, 30 carrot seeds in each of these, then you can pre-cultivate them in the heating bench, which I have here. And when they start to get nice and bushy, you cut open the box, and they've soaked up almost all the soil that's in there by then. And then you just have a hole that's already dug, that's the same size, and you just put it in without opening it or anything. And then you'll always harvest the biggest ones first. As soon as you take the big one, then the next one grows big, and then the next one grows big, and the next one grows big, and then you're using hardly any space. You're pre-cultivating, and it works quite well, especially for us who like to have a lot of harvest in waves. That's a very good solution for that, when you don't have a lot of space and you want to harvest in waves. The other thing I want to show is that I've started up the heating bench, and my heating bench is really simple. It's just a second greenhouse inside of the greenhouse. Very simple design, and all it has is heating cables that you could use for. You can put it around. You can buy it at the hardware store. You can put it around water cables to keep water cables from freezing, and it has an automatic trip on it so that it doesn't go over 15 degrees. It turns off. You can see over here is the sensor. Yep, it trips off at 15 degrees. Just to be on the safe side, I also have it on a timer so that it's only on during the night, because during the day it's warm enough in here. You don't have to worry about it. And today is the first day that I fired up this heating bench, and that is because I looked at the forecast, and the forecast says that in the next 10 days there'll be no more than 2 degrees below zero, and that means that in here it won't be freezing, most likely even if the cables go off. So you have to kind of count on, if the cables go off, how bad will it be? Because that can happen at nighttime, and then you can lose your whole crop. So don't get started with a heating bench unless you're fairly sure that most of the plants can survive the nighttime temperature. But then of course you want to open that bottleneck at night, so you put a timer on it. And then I have this little heater here, and it's also, as you can see, it's on the bare minimum, so it's just enough so that when it gets down to around zero, it kicks in, keeps it from freezing at night. And that's all you want, is just enough energy to keep it from freezing at night. And that's perfect for right now. I've got mostly alliums in here and stuff that's partial stratification. So you can see some stuff is already starting to come up. This is lovage. It's starting to sprout, but other than that, everything is still, well, there's a couple of alliums there that are starting to sprout. So that's it for today. This is the heating bench. I hope this helps some people to get started. You don't need a greenhouse to have a heating bench like this. You can build a heating bench like this, and that can be your entire greenhouse. I've got it just on a couple of drums, you see. It's sitting on top of a couple of drums, and it's just recycled. This is an old piece of trash insulation that we found, an insulation board that's 10 centimeters thick. It's quite solid. And then just some simple boards around the edge. On the front, you can just drop down. Just a little piece of plastic drops down. Bingo. For, under $100, you got yourself a greenhouse. And I can stack these 4 or 5 layers high. So you can imagine in this one greenhouse, I can have thousands and thousands of starters, right? So this is how you open that bottleneck. Here's the second one, because I have got a lot of production in here, or potential production. It still needs to be set up. So I start up this one. Once this one starts to get full with plants in about 3 weeks time from now, then I'll open up the second one. So you only open up what you need, only use as much energy as you need at any given time.